Welcome to This Explainer. You know that feeling when you just hit a massive wall in your career? You've got the ambition, you have the goals, but nothing's moving? The gears just grind to a halt. It's one of the most deeply personal and frankly wildly frustrating things we go through, the professional plateau. Today, we're going to unpack the hidden reason we stall. Let's get right into it.
So why do we stall? It's a really heavy, agonizing feeling, isn't it? You're staring at a huge project, a career move, or maybe just a blank page, and you feel entirely stuck. You know you should be moving forward, but it's like this invisible force is keeping your feet glued to the floor exactly where you are. It can be incredibly isolating.
Which brings us to our first point, the myth of laziness.
Now, this myth is really just the tip of the iceberg, and honestly, it's where we almost always start when things go wrong. When we hit that wall, our knee-jerk reaction is to look at the surface and make some pretty brutal assumptions about ourselves. We think our professional stalls come from laziness, or a lack of discipline, or inconsistency, or maybe even a fundamental lack of talent. But here's the kicker. Beneath the surface, a deeply rooted psychological response is taking over. It is absolutely not a character flaw.
And man, that brings up the heavy burden of self-blame. When you mistakenly believe your stall is just you being lazy or undisciplined, the emotional exhaustion is staggering. You burn so much energy just beating yourself up for not making progress. You carry this immense, crushing weight around on your shoulders, thinking you just aren't good enough or motivated enough to get the job done.
Let's shift gears to Section 2, the mind's defense mechanism.
To really grasp this, we need a complete paradigm shift. We have to completely shift the focus away from blaming ourselves and look at what the brain is actually trying to accomplish when we come to a screeching halt. Think about it like this. The mind is not refusing to create. It is trying to protect you. I really want that to land for a second. In so many cases, when you think you're failing to produce or move forward, your mind isn't broken at all. It's actually sensed the threat, and it's activated its shields.
Stalling is not a refusal to work. What it actually is an unconscious psychological defense mechanism designed for your protection. Your brain is literally working overtime here. It's burning massive amounts of cognitive energy to shield you from something it perceives as dangerous. You haven't checked out, your mental security system is simply set to maximum alert.
Moving on to Section 3, the disguises of protection.
The tricky part is, if our brain is protecting us, it doesn't exactly announce it over a loudspeaker. This invisible mental protection shows up in our daily work lives in ways that we completely misinterpret. Protection wears a lot of frustrating, highly deceptive masks. It rarely looks like someone just lounging on the couch doing nothing. Instead, it disguises itself as productive work, or at least as necessary mental processing. Let's look at what these disguises actually are.
Here's what that protection actually looks like in the wild. Overthinking, perfectionism, endless planning, emotional exhaustion, starting but never finishing, constant self-monitoring. Just look at that list for a second. It is frantic, it's busy, you're planning, you're monitoring, you're tweaking it to make it perfect, you're starting over and over again. It is an incredibly high-energy, exhausting state of being.
So I have to ask, does this look like laziness to you? Really think about it. True laziness is a state of rest. It's relaxing. The behaviors we just looked at, the perfectionism, the endless overthinking, the constant self-monitoring, they are the exact opposite of rest. They are intensely active and deeply draining. Your brain is burning calories trying to keep you safe under the guise of getting ready.
Which leads us to our final section, what we truly fear. If our mind is generating all of this frantic energy, all of these intense defense mechanisms to protect us, we have to go to the very bottom of the iceberg. What exactly is the mind defending against? Well, this is where we see exactly how fear causes these professional stalls. The mind learns to defend itself from specific, deeply rooted threats. Uncertainty, the absolute terror of not knowing the outcome. Visibility, the vulnerability of putting your work and yourself out there for everyone to see. Judgment, the harsh criticism from peers or bosses. And failure, the fear that you'll give it your absolute all and it simply won't be enough. Your mind builds these massive, exhausting walls, the stalls, to make sure you never have to feel the sting of those four things.
And even success.
Now, this one usually catches people completely off guard, but achieving your goals brings entirely new pressures. It brings higher expectations, way more visibility, and a ton of new responsibility. To your subconscious mind, succeeding can look just as terrifying and destabilizing as failing. So what does it do? It hits the brakes to keep you in the safe, predictable little bubble you're in right now.
So I want to leave you with this question to chew on today. Take a look at the stall in your own life. Look at that project you're endlessly planning, or the work you just can't stop overthinking. Which fear is your mind defending against right now? Are you afraid of the judgment, the failure, or hey, maybe even the success? Once you can actually name the fear, you can finally drop the disguise of laziness, thank your mind for trying to protect you, and actually start moving forward.